Okay, so I have shared the screen. Just let me know once you're able to see the screen, right? Okay, Turhan is there, right? So you guys can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so today this is the fourth chapter. ठीक है? In total we have 42 chapters. कुछ chapters बहुत छोटे हैं, कुछ chapters मुश्किल हैं और exam point of view से बहुत important है, right? So we need to we have to spend good time for those chapters and ये थोड़े छोटे छोटे chapters है तो इन पे हम इतना time spend नहीं करेंगे. They're very easy as well. ठीक है? अच्छा, what do you understand by directed numbers? Any idea? What comes to your mind when we say directed numbers? Directed basically means direction, right? Any clue? Anyone? Any guess? Okay. So let's talk about this number line, right? This is a number line. This is 0. यहाँ पे we have all the positive numbers. And यहाँ पे we have all the negative numbers, right? Okay, you guys must be familiar with this number line. Are you guys comfortable with this number line?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what
Yes.
exactly is the direction? ठीक है, जो sign होता है number के साथ, that is direction. This is minus sign. This is telling us कि ये number हमारे पास 0 से पीछे, and we have plus sign here, which is telling us कि ये number हमारे पास 0 से आगे. And why is it important? It is important in some cases. For example, if we talk about temperature, ठीक है, if we talk about temperature, we know that at times it is minus 10 degrees and then there are times when it is 50 degrees. So what is this? This is extremely hot and this is extremely cold, right? So this is why these directions are important. So are you guys okay with it?
Yes.
Everyone, Turhan, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about how to play with these numbers. Okay, this concept was easy. This is just the underlying logic. Now let's talk about how to play with these numbers. Okay, so I'll make a table. Right, so we have okay. So let's say we have directed numbers and we are adding. We are adding two directed numbers. Now, obviously, we have two options. One could be that the signs are same. So for that, add and take the sign. This means that if we have, let's say, -3 plus -4, now two numbers are being added and their signs are same. We have minus here and we have minus here. So we need to add. So 3 and 4 is 7 and we take the sign. The sign is minus, right? Is it clear? And similarly, if we had 3 plus 4, again the signs are plus. So we will add, we'll write the answer and the sign would be plus. ठीक है? This is something जो आप लोगों को already पता होगा. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. And now when we have different signs, what do? Obviously, we subtract and take sign of large value. For example, if we have -5 and we are adding it with 9. Okay, so one number is -5, the other one is 9. Sign is different. We have minus here, we have a small plus here. It means we need to subtract. The difference is 4, and what sign is going to come? The sign of 9, that is plus. Okay, so is it okay? Any questions?
No.
Okay, now when we subtract, what do we do? Let's say we have -3 minus +4. Okay, again we are subtracting it, but we need to be careful this time. अब हमने ये नहीं देखना कि यहाँ पे हमारे पास माइनस साइन है प्लस साइन है. First we have to multiply this minus sign with this plus sign, so this would become -3 जो कि पहले से था. Minus into plus is -4. Now since the sign is same, so we'll add it, right? So this would become 7 and the sign is minus, right? So this is something जो हम लोगों को already पता है, right? Is it okay? Are you guys comfortable with this concept? Yeah, you want me to do more questions? Sharia, you can also tell me.
No, ma'am.
Okay, right. So you can stop me there and then if you're not able to understand anything, okay? Right.
Excuse
Now,
ma'am?
yes.
Like the thing with the signs is that if the signs would be same, so we would add them,
Yes, yes,
and if they are different, then we would subtract them.
yes. For example, let's say, okay, let's do some examples quickly. Let's say we have +7 minus, अच्छा अभी minus छोड़ देते, we have +7 plus 2, ठीक है? We are adding it. That is obvious, but we need to check the sign of this number and this number. इन दोनों numbers का sign same है. We can add it, and क्या sign था? Plus sign था. ठीक है? Let's say if we had -7 plus 2. Now again we are adding it. एक number का sign minus है, एक number का sign plus है. We can't add it. We have to subtract it because different sign. Okay, different sign. So answer would be 5. And what about the sign? Take the sign of large value. What is the large value? 7 is the large value. So we will have -5, right? And now if I had, let's say, +7 minus +2. In this case, we know that this is 7, and then minus into plus will give me -2, right? So this would be 5. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
आपने ये कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ा है पहले?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Acha, now when we are multiplying, obviously we should only know that plus into plus would be plus, minus into plus would be minus, and minus into minus is plus, right? ये rules दोनों के लिए same है. Plus into plus is plus, plus into minus is minus, and minus into minus is plus, and obviously minus into plus would also be minus. Is it okay? Anything
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
guys have not understood? Turhan, Sharia, Amir, Saneem?
No.
Okay, everything is clear?
Yes.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So this means that we are done with this chapter, right? This was a small chapter. This is something which we have been doing already, but obviously we need to cover everything. This is why I discussed this. And इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड कोई डायरेक्टली पास्ट पेपर क्वेश्चंस नहीं है. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक से रिलेटेड है. ये जो कंटेंट है, it is used in different other topics, right? So इसके directly कोई questions नहीं होता obviously. Right, now let's talk about the 5th chapter. Chapter number 5, that is decimals, fractions, and percentages. Okay, now what do you guys understand by decimals? Any number with a decimal? 0.675. This is what decimals are. किसी भी number में ये dot होता है. This is the decimal. If we talk about fractions, what do we know? 2/3. This is a fraction. And if we talk about percentages, 2% is a percentage, right? तो हमें पता है कि decimal is this, fraction इस type की होती है, and percentage इस type की होती है. Okay? But इस topic में जो questions होते हैं वो इस type के होते हैं कि आपने decimal to fraction जाना है, fraction to decimal, and then we'll talk about percentages later. Okay? So let's discuss the conversions first. Okay. So let's say we talk about going from a fraction to decimal. Okay. Right. So we have an example. Let's say we have 3/8 and we want to convert it into a decimal number, right? So how do we do such questions? Yes, anyone?
We are gonna divide this fraction.
Very good. Okay. So the number which is a numerator comes inside. This number comes here. Okay. Now, obviously, 3 is small. We can't start our working directly. We need to have a decimal just so we can take 0. Now we have 30. Okay. What next? 8 into 1 is 8. 8 into 2 is 16. 8 into 3 is 24. And 8 into 4 is 32. So this is good for us, right? We can write 3 here and we will have 24 here. What do we get after the difference? We get 6.
6.
Again, we have decimal. We can write 0. Next factor kaun sa hoga? Yes,
54.
56. 56, okay.
50.
That is 7. It would be 56. Again, difference is 4. Decimal ki wajah se we have 0 and 8 into 5 is 40. So I can write this 5 here, this 40 here, and the answer is 0. So the fraction 3/8 is converted to 0.375. Okay. Any questions? Anything which you have not understood, please stop me there and then if you're not able to understand anything. Okay.
Okay.
Is it clear, Johan?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, perfect. Right. So we know that how to convert a fraction into decimal. Acha, obviously, this is a long method, but in case it was necessary. What if the question was 3 divided by 10? Do we still need to do all this calculation?
No, because we know it's 0.3.
Yes, very good. And why? Because we are dividing a number by 10, right? So this means, let's say this is 3. Every
The
number
decimal
has,
goes one place.
yes, very good. Every number has a decimal at the end, okay? ये जो सब numbers मैं इधर लिख रही हूँ 1, 2, 3. Although apparently it looks like there's no decimal in these numbers, but it's not like that. I can write this 1 with a decimal at the end. This 2 with the decimal at the end. This 3 with a decimal at the end, right? So we can write decimals this way as well. Okay. Now when I divide it by 10, what I do is I need to move this decimal 1 unit to the left, and that is going to give me 0.3. Okay. From here, the decimal has come here, right? Because of 10. 10 has 1 0 only. Let's say if I had 3 divided by 100, decimal is here. Okay, so we have 2 zeros, so we need to move 2 decimal places to the left. This is the first decimal jump, and then this would be the second decimal jump. So we will have 0.03. Any questions, anything that you have not understood?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's say we have, decimal to fraction. How do we do that?
मैम जो डेसिमल पॉइंट होता है उसकी जगह 1 आ जाता है और उसके फिर हम लेफ्ट साइड पे चेक करते हैं, लाइक राइट साइड पे चेक करते हैं कितने नंबर्स हैं और फिर उनकी जगह हम 0 लिख देते हैं. नहीं
Yes.
बल्कि
Good. Acha, okay. So for this, let's say we take the same example initially. We have 0.3, and this time we are going from decimal to fraction. So very well said. We write 1 and then 0 and 3, right? So if we had 0.03, this would have been 3 over 100. Because is decimal ki jagah we have this 1, and we have 2 decimal places. We have 2 numbers after the decimal. So we write 2 zeros, okay? For example, if we had 0.0789, how do we convert this? We write down the number only, 789, and in the denominator, we write 1 instead of this decimal, and we have 3 numbers after the decimal. So we have 4 numbers after the decimal, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we write down 4 zeros. Is it okay?
yes ma'am.
Okay. Now, obviously, these examples are good, but let's talk about some more examples. Let's say if we had 0.25, okay? So what do? 25 comes as it is, then you have to divide it by 1 and then 2 zeros, because you have 2 numbers after the decimal. And do you stop here? No, you don't. You need to cancel out things further, okay? So 25 1 times is 25, and 25 4 times is 100, right? So this actually would be 1 by 4. This is the answer. Is it okay?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now, what if we have 1.5? What do we do for 1.5? Again, we write down the number without decimal. That is 15. We need to divide it
15
by
by 10.
10. And again, 5 into 2 is 10,
Simplify.
and 5 into 3 is 15. Okay. So we are clear in this. Any questions, Sharia?
No, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Now let's talk about the final concept, that is of percentages. Okay. Now we have 2 types of questions for these. Right. So let's talk about percentage particularly. Okay. Now we have 2 types of questions. Okay. Let's discuss type number 1. Okay. The question could be, find X% of a number. Obviously, this is a general idea, so question would be of this type. Find, let's say, find 15% of 20. Now, these questions are very easy. This is the question. For the solution, we just have to convert this English into maths. How? This is 15 per,
Percent 1 into 100.
this is 15 per cent. Okay. This is per and this 100 is cent. So 15% of means multiply and then we have 20. Now you just have to simplify this. You'll cut 0 and 0. You have 5 here. You can cancel it with 2 and then this is 1 and this is 3. So the answer is 3. So what is 3? 15% of 20 is 3, right? Have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Saneem, are you clear with this?
Yes.
Okay. What if we had 20% of 18?
20 divided by 100 into 18.
Yes, very good. Excellent. 20% into 18, right? And then you can just cancel things out. This is 1 and this is 5. So this is 18 by 5. And now, what if I ask you to convert this fraction into a decimal? How do we do that? By that long division method, okay? This is 18, this is 5.
Yes.
3, 15. 3 is not enough. We take decimal, right? 30. 5 into 6 is
6.
30. And this would be 0. So the answer is 3.6. Very good. Okay, this is clear. Sharia and Turhan, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's talk about the second type then. What is the second type? This type 2. What percent of A is B? Now, obviously, this is the general idea. So the question could be of this type. What percent of 10 is 2? Okay. Now, understand the question first. Okay. What percent of 10 is 2, right? Like 10 is the big number, 2 is the small number. And we need to find that what percent of 10 is 2. How do we do that? Okay, we write down the small number here. We write down the big number here. And we are interested in finding the percentage. So we multiply all this with 100%. Okay. So this is going to give us 20%. This is the answer. Are you guys clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
No questions? Turhan, are you clear? Turhan, are you there? I can't hear you. Okay, so let's talk about another example. That is last example. Then we'll do a past paper question. What percent of 15 is 5? Okay, I want you guys to do it and just tell me the answer and take your time and then tell the answer, okay?
$50.
Sorry, what is your answer?
I got 50.
50%?
Yes.
Okay, and what about other students? This is from Saneem. Yes, Amir and Sharia. Any idea about this?
0.75.
Okay.
13.3.
Okay, so 0.75%.
Yes.
Okay, and 13.5, right?
33 point.
30,
My answer is 33.3%.
33, 33.3. Okay, all right. This is by Amir, this is by Sharia. Okay, let's see what is the answer actually. Let's understand the question first, okay? What percent of 15 is 5? Now 5 is the smaller number, right? So 5 will come in the numerator. 15 is the bigger number. This is going to come in the denominator. We are interested in finding out the percentage. So we multiply it with 100%. Okay. Now 5 1 times is 5 and 5 3 times is 15. So what do we have? We have 100 divided by 3%. And when we solve this, we are going to get this. That is 33.33. And yes, this would be 33.3%. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, so Salim, how did you attempt this question? Yes.
Ma'am, Saneem is not in the class.
Okay. And Sharia, how did you do this? Got this answer? Yes. Sharia, are you there? Okay. All right. So let's do another example because it looks like this concept is not very clear. What percent of 210 is 70? Okay. What percent of 210 is 70? What is the small number? 70. What is the big number? 210. We are interested in finding out the percentage. So we multiply it with 100%, right? 0 and 0 would be cancelled. 7 into 1 is 7 and 7 into 3 is 21. So again, we are getting 100% by 3. That is 33.3%. Is it clear?
Yes.
Saneem, Sharia, Turhan, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Sharia, are you okay with this?
Yes, ma'am, I get it now.
Okay. Are you sure? Do you want me to do another example?
No, I just get it now.
Okay. All right. So always remember, chota number in numerator, big number in denominator, and we're multiplying it with 100%. Okay. So we are done with everything. Let's talk about the past paper question now. I'll write it here instead of sharing the screen because I'm not able to write there properly. Okay. Let's just rub all this. Okay, and my previous students know that I'm not the type of teacher who minds questions and all that. Okay, so it's for everyone. If you're not able to understand anything, please stop me. At times, I might go fast because obviously I know everything. तो मैं तो जल्दी जल्दी करूँगी ना. You guys have to stop me that, ma'am, I'm not able to understand this. Okay, and I would like that instead of minding that. Okay, let's talk about the past paper question. This is the, let me write down the statement. The Jackson family, this is the question, are on holiday in New Zealand. Okay. Full stop. Okay. And then we have the first part. They change some euros and receive $1,962. Okay. Now the exchange rate is €1 is equal to $1.635. Okay. Now you have to calculate the number of euros they change. Right. Okay, let's understand the question and then we'll talk about how to solve it. Okay. So the Jackson family are on holiday in New Zealand. Okay, now they're in another country. Obviously, they need to convert their money in order to buy things and all that. So they change some euros. They must be from Europe. From Europe, they're going to New Zealand. So they want to change some euros and get dollars, right? Instead of euros. So they change some euros, which we are not sure about the exact amount, and receive this much dollars, right? $1,962. The exchange rate is for €1, you get $1.635. Calculate the number of euros they change. Okay, so this question would be solved using ratio in proportion. So what is the exchange rate? For €1, they get 1.635, right? So how many euros would they give in order to receive $1,962, right? This is how we are going to
Excuse
solve
me.
this question. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm done with it, and its answer is 1,200 euros.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. And how do we solve such questions? We need to cross multiply. Okay. So we get 1962 equals 1.635x. Okay. And then when we divide it on the left hand side, we get x equals 1200. And 1200 what? $1,200 or 1,200
Euro.
euros? Very good. Okay. 1,200 euros. Very good. So is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Turhan, Saneem, Sharia, are you guys clear with this question? Please tell me if you have not
Yes.
understood it.
I understood.
Sorry, say it again.
I understood the question.
Okay. All right. So we are clear with this. Okay. Let's talk about the second part, which is basically related to our topic. The second part is okay. So the answer was 1,200 euros. Right. So the second part is the family spent 15% of their dollars on a tour. Calculate the number of dollars they have left. Okay. Now, what is the question? The family spent 15% of their dollars, of these dollars, on a tour. Calculate the number of dollars they have left. Okay. So initially they had $1,962 and they have spent 15% of this amount. So what would be left? For that, we need to find 15% of this amount and then we'll subtract that amount from this value, right? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
15 divided by 100 into 196.
So 1962. Okay, very good. So we need to find 15% of $1,962. That would be 15%. Cent is 100. Off is multiply, and this is the amount 1962. So after simplification, we are going to get
294.3.
okay 290 294.3. Okay, and what is the next step? This is 15% of this amount, and initially we had this amount. What is the question? We are
So
interested.
we have to minus.
Yes, because we have to find number of dollars they have left. So how do we do that? Initially it was 1962 minus 294.3. This should be 3. Okay, and the answer would be, what is the answer, Amir?
1712.7.
No, it is 1667.7. Okay, check that again. Right. So what have we done in this question? In the second part particularly, the family spent 15% of their dollars on a tour. Okay, so they spent 15% and we have to calculate the number of dollars they have left, right? So first we have to find 15% of the amount which they had. That is 15% of 1962. That is 294.3. This was the initial amount. And then we have to subtract this amount from initial amount to get the final dollars which they have. Any questions? Anything which you have not understood?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And what if I say find this price in euros? How would you do that?
Like the amount was given in $162.
This amount. What if I ask you to convert these many dollars into euros? How are we going to do that? I want everyone to do it, please. Saneem, Turhan, and Amir. Just do it and tell me the
Okay.
answer. Yes, are you guys done?
I got 1020.
Yes, very good. This is the answer. Excellent. And what about other students? Are you done as well? Are you getting the same answer? Yes, Amir. Yes, Turhan.
My answer is 1019.
1019 is almost
Point.
1020. That is okay. And what about you, Turhan? Have you tried this?
Yeah, I'm almost finished.
Okay, all right. Okay, so any questions? Anything that you guys have not understood in this lecture? Anything about decimals,
No, ma'am.
fractions, percentages? Everything is clear?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, it's good.
Yes.
Are you done, Turhan?